Hello puppy lovers. Today I have little Molly here. She's a little Havanese and she's not a having it. She just had her bath and now I'm going to give her a nice blow dry. She's really stressed. She's just the second time that I groomed this little puppy. And yes, she was born in November 2023, so now we are May 2024, so she's still a puppy and learning what grooming is all about. So I will proceed with the groom, and I will stop when I have something to explain, or something to explain.
So here I'm wiping her up a bit, and as you can hear the squeaks, she doesn't really like being dried off with the towel.
So I'm going to clean out her eyes here. I'm going to use this little flea comb and come in here and get any poopies that are there. Oh, there's one poopy, another poopy, double poopies. Yay! She's not really happy with this groom. Yes, we're going to do this and we're dry you. Cut this. Just gonna cut it. Hang on. I want to cut it and clean it before drying. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. One. No. Other side too. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, she's a complicated one. All right. Give me a second. No. Hang on. Keep your head straight. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Whew. All right, let's keep going.
So now it's time to clean her ears, and I'm going to use a little bit of this solution to clean her eye area, and the other solution to clean out her ears. Now her ears are not very dirty, but I like to get in there just the same, just to be sure. It's a good idea to brush your dog before drying, because it helps the drying process. So placing her in a no-sit belly band to be sure she doesn't wiggle around too much. But she does like to wiggle a lot, so we'll see how this goes. Drying in sections really helps the groom go faster. I don't know if it really does help it go faster, but for me, I find that getting one section of the dog done and then moving on to the next section, it helps me feel like the drying process is faster. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So I'll turn her around and I'll do the same thing on the other side, starting with the back end of the dog. Then I'll go down to her right leg and just finish off the rest.
So Chloe pulls a lot. She pulls on her, like when I'm drying her, she pulls backwards, and when she's pulling backwards, that can cause her to be a little tight in her neck. So when your dog does that, like this, see, she's pulling away, I'm trying to come at her, and she's just pulling away because she's scared of me. You have to just try to hold the puppy closer, because you don't want her to choke. You want your dog to choke, so you just be sure you try to hold them so that this doesn't get like tight on their necks. I'm going to take this off. I put this because I don't want her sitting, right? Even without it. She's going to pull away from me. Don't pull. I'm going to wipe her head a bit because I'm not going to dry her hair. She's way too stressed out. She's only 6 months. So, You dry them the best you can. And then you have to hand dry them like this. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Continue with this, and then I'm going to pull out my handy dandy little dryer here. See if she takes hold with that. And she seems to have some matting in her ears, so I'll show you guys how I take that out as soon as I start drying her a bit. I'll get her dried a bit. Yeah. Hang on.
So let's see if she takes this dryer better. I'm going to show it to her, show her there's no danger, and I'm going to start brushing lightly.
So, it takes a bit. Yeah, she's not sure. She's yawning and whatnot. This is annoying her. It really is, isn't it? Can I try with the other brush? Let's try with the other brush. Like this. Yeah. Hold her nose. Hold her. No, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. My, Chloe. Let's get in closer. Chloe, my. Look at that. Look at the big girl. Wow. I just wanted you guys to hear her. She's not too happy. So I'll continue drying her, and then I'll show you how I get those mats out.
Now moving on, we'll keep drying and rubbing her head, try to get the drying process done. This is a lot longer drying with this dryer, but you know, if it'll save the dog some anxiety, I think it's best to take your time.
So she's still going at it, crying. I'm going in as calmly as I can so that she doesn't get scared. She keeps pulling back. I have to put the groomers. Help her, honey. I don't want to have to do that. No, I don't want you to learn. Yeah, learn to do this on your own like a good girl. I'm going to let the rest dry on its own. See, to me, she's only dried at, her head is only dried at maybe, I'd say 80%. And I'll just let the rest dry on its own because she's just not feeling it. Really? So just gotta dry all fluffy. Not gonna be fluffy. So around her ears, she's got a lot of matting. And there you can't see it. Maybe you can. See this? Excuse me. What I'll do is I'll go in and I'll hold the leather if I can. I'm holding the leather of the ear. So I'm going to brush on top. So I'm pinching at between the skin, where the skin ends, right there. And I'm just going to do that on my brush, on my finger. Yes. And I'll just do that around. I don't want to get the pins on her skin. No, honey. We're going to do just a little. And then you just play around like this to split the mats. She's got a lot. She's got a lot. So I'm just splitting it. Really, really. She's got a huge one there. Can you come show the camera here? Come show over here. All of that. It's like matting. So just your back, don't worry. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my comb and I'm going to check out my work, see if I did a good job, and I did. It's all done. Yeah, that's got to dry. That's got to fluff, air fluff. Let's try this side here. See, there's matting in there. I'm do the same thing. No. I'm gonna hold where the ear is, ear leather, and I'm gonna brush that on top of my finger, like that. No, no, honey. No, no, honey. You're okay. I just gotta take a few of these out. So you gotta expect this when they're 6 months. Usually they don't want to comply, so. Yeah. And, you know, I should have seen her before, March, April, May. Yeah, it's 2 months. For her to only have a second groom by 6 months, I think she should have had at least another one. Come here, honey. Come here, honey. Yeah. From one session to another, they can be completely different. As she ages, she should get used to the process. There were only a few mats I had to get on, honey. No. All right, so let's brush her, and then we will get to her nails and whatnot.
Brushing a dog can be quite tedious, but if you want a nice cut, you really need to get that brushing done.
So when you're brushing, it's best to always just put your brush down to the skin and lift upwards, and not brushing on the dog's back on the skin like this, because that will scratch the back. See how these have pins? These scratch. This brush doesn't scratch. It's got these little nubs at the end. That doesn't scratch. It's soft. I like to go in with my slicker brush because the slicker brush helps fluff out. Okay. You can use the wet brush to brush a bit. It's fine. But the slicker brush, to me, really does a good job.
This is still a little baby. She's not understanding that this is not, there's no danger here. And I'm not trying to hurt her. I need to keep talking to her and telling her that she's okay, she's good. But she's not having it. But as I said, this is still a little baby, so we gotta keep working. So she had pretty much a fair amount of knots, and I let the client know that there needs to be a little more of a brushing process at home, that she needs to get used to the combing and brushing.
There.
So yeah, I don't want to have to put her through too much brushing, so we opted on maybe a shorter length than what she got the last time.
So there are knots behind her ears, right here. And I don't like to brush that out. Knots behind the ears are something that these pups will get often. So I just hold at the base of the skin and I'll just cut it with this. I could have cut it with the other ones. And I'll try to brush it out once it's cut. And I'll just separate with my fingers here. She's got a lot of mats back here. You need to be brushed more often, honey. At home. Mama's got to brush you. So this is pretty annoying for her, I'm guessing. Not crying anymore, at least. There's a lot of knotting back here. I gotta put this mask back on. All this hair. Whew. I brush it all out. So I'll continue working on it. So since she's not completely dry, I come in and I comb and try to comb with the, you know, the side where there's more pins. Try to comb that out as best as I can. Try to get it to dry. Stand up, honey. Stand up. So we're gonna do her nails and finally get this groom going. Start cutting hair. Yeah. Oh no, not another mat. Get rid of that ninja feet. That's gonna be all gone. All gone.
So for a moment, I have her listen to the clipper so she can get used to it. See, this video is on fast forward, so it seems like I didn't have her listen to it very long, but actually I did have her a good 15-20 seconds to listen to the sound. So I'm getting all of her pads done with a 30 blade. If she was kicking around, I wouldn't be using 30 blade. I'd be using a 10 blade. Because 30 blades can cut. Getting her belly done and under her arms. I have to check to see where her armpit is.
So here she decided she wants to struggle. I'm just feeling for her armpit, and I'm going to take a little bit of this off. If she is struggling with me. Oh boy, I took a lot of it off. She moved. I grabbed a chunk out of there. Hang on, honey. These moving canvases are, they just move around, right? We do our best we can. Look at that. We got a huge chunk out of that. Well, lucky we're going short, so that won't show. So we're gonna do her nails, and I'm gonna see if she lets me.
So on with her nails. I'm trying to remember if she complied. She's doing a good job. Seems to be doing a good job. Yeah, she did a really good job.
So I'm trying to do this paw here, and she's not happy with that. Just gotta continue trying. You say no and you continue. I wanted to mention that nails don't all grow at the same rate. So you might take some off more on one nail than on another. And sometimes they'll rub on the ground when they're walking outside, so that could a specific nail might be touching the ground a little more than the others. So just because you're taking this much off on one nail doesn't mean you're going to take the same amount off next nail. So I'm going to get the grooming, the cut started. Usually Molly, usually the last time and the only time I groomed her in March, she got a 19 millimeter and a 16 millimeter on her head, and now we're going shorter, so we will be doing a 13 millimeter, which is the orange Andis, the number 1, and she just, it's you know, it's getting warm out there, it's summertime, spring, summer, June is coming along, so she just wants to have her puppy shorter. So I'm going to go on with this and get the groom going.
So I'm taking off quite fair amount of coat here because, see that? Yeah, it's best that we keep her a little shorter, especially now it's summer, so it's best that she's a bit shorter so that Mom doesn't have to go through rushing her too much all the time, and you know, she still has to brush her, but it's best for the pup to not have to deal with any knots when she comes in for her groom. I don't want her feeling stressed out because she's going to have to stay on the table for like a half hour, which I'd never do.
So placing my arm, she wants to sit, so placing my arm under her, then lifting her tail is going to help me keep her up. So she's not trying to sit now that I'm showing you. But when I was like this, she wanted to sit. See, like that. So put your arm underneath and hold the tail. I don't like to hold the tail and they try to sit and I'm trying to pull up by the tail. If they do that while I have scissors in my hands, sometimes it happens where I just lift them back up like that. But in general, keeping your hand like this will help some. So, just a thought.
So anyway, as I was saying, I would not want to have her on the table for too long because then they remember that and they don't want to go through that. And they come over and they're all nervous, and I just want to get them on the table and off the table as soon as I can so that they don't have to feel that anxiety. But she's doing pretty good. She's still accepting of me grooming her, and I saw a difference from the last time I groomed her.
Now for her head. Yeah, she liked the length the last time, so I'm going to stick with the same length, and that was a 16 millimeter, which is a, not that one, sorry, it's a yellow guard comb, it's a 0. Excuse me. You do your head? Do your head? You be okay with that? Do this in a second. Get up to that. So what hang on. I just wanted to be sure I got this. Okay, so what I'm doing now, she's pulling. She wants to pull her head away while I'm shaving. This is really dangerous. So if she pulls and I get it in her eye, that's bad news. So what I do is hold, I have both my fingers, this, behind her ears, okay? I have both my fingers behind her ears, and that gives me a good hold on her. I'm sorry, I'm scratching my face, my nose. I have a whole bunch of hairs from her. I'll do that, and then I'll try to come around and just lightly put my finger on her nose. So she might pull, but I'm holding her skull, like behind her ears, her jaw, so I don't want her pulling. No, 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 no. Good girl, good girl. There. See? You did a good job. Good girl. I felt that she wasn't fighting me anymore, so I started making, letting go of my grip a little so that she learns that if I'm letting go of the grip, she can start to trust that we're both doing something together and that we don't need to fight it, right? So the harder you hold, the more they'll want to pull away. But when you got to get it done, and you know that she wants to pull away, the dog wants to pull away, then it's sometimes you got to hold a little harder. But there's a feel that kind of happens when you kind of feel that the dog kind of relaxes into it, and then that's when I kind of start letting go, trusting her, she trusts me. We start, being symbiotic. Is that the word? All right, let's keep grooming.
So this is definitely my favorite part of the groom, where I can start the cut. Keeping those toes nice and neat. Look at those little pads. Those little black dots. That's so cute. I love my work. I enjoy my work.
So when you're cutting in this area here, what I like to do is I just toss the tail over with my thumb. And this little, if it was a male and still had his testicles, this finger is holding that back. So I got to get in here. So same thing for females here. I need to keep my finger there, hold that away, right? I'm pulling the same direction as the tail. Then I can go in with my scissors and cut what I need to cut. It's always important to protect this area here. You never know. And when you're cutting, you'll notice around their little anus area or just this whole area, sometimes it'll move, they will move it, like they contract with their muscle and like it'll go up and down. So that's another thing, you got to be very careful when you're cutting this area. You have to hold, be sure it's not getting in the way. So let's keep moving. So when the dogs do this, it's not too easy to do the cut. For some reason, some puppies like to do this. They just want to lay down and not let me finish. So, in that case, I'm just sure to get this done quicker. Hold her up here. She won't get up. So because of that, I'm just going to move on in another area. Look at her shaking. I mean, from one dog to another, right? The other dog I had this afternoon was so relaxed. In the sense, like, she's just shaking away. And I'm being as careful as I can, but she's got it in her mind that this is a dangerous thing. And she's in danger for some reason. So see, she didn't want me to stand her up. Now that I got her standing up, now I'll come in. I won't touch her too much, because it's touching her that actually causes her to want to crouch down. Or, so I'll try to do as best as I can. And if she does that too much, I don't want to fight her on it. I'll just go somewhere else, do something else, and then come back to it a little later. And then, if it can't get done, I mean, done to your taste or whatever, it's fine. You just need to let your client know that you did what you can. Because some dogs just won't let you. And she's a puppy right now. So especially if she's a puppy, you let your client know that, okay, maybe next time, maybe she'll be better next time. For now, she just doesn't want it. Or if it's your dog, whoever's watching this, could be your dog. Your dog doesn't want you to continue, move on to another section. And then maybe they'll get up. You know? And then they'll stop crouching down. Let's move on.
So of course, when I'm doing the cut for the legs and whatnot, anytime I'm in front of the puppy, I have to always correct. See how I'm always correcting her head. She brings her head down, and then I have to bring it back up, push it back up, push it back up. That's part of training too. Bring it back up, and then eventually she'll get it. She'll understand that, oh, this is what she wants. She wants me to keep my head up.
So it's really important to keep the dog's head out of the way when you're cutting the legs. Just keep tossing the dog's head. You'll keep wanting to turn around. And keep telling him no and bring it back. And just hold lightly, just so they get it and understand. I don't want their faces in the way.
She still seems to be a little afraid as I try to adjust her, and she pulls back. But as I said, this is still a puppy. We keep correcting the puppy, bring him forward. She pulls back.
All right, this little lady, I think she's getting tired of the groom. No, the mom's not there. She heard my dog bark, so now she started getting a little more stressed out. She heard my dog bark. So now it's all about trying to get it done. She did really good. She's been doing really, really good. She was letting me groom her feet up until Bud barked. No, hon. No, nobody's here. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. It's only you and me. And Buddy Boo. And the kittens. Soft-coated dogs are so, it's easy to make that mistake, right? So because she's moving around so much, I think I'm going to go in with these because they're a little more forgiving. Yes, they are. It is what it is. Yeah, I really want her off the table as soon as I can because she's a little too stressed out. I don't like it when they're stressed out. I like to get them on the table and off the table as soon as I can. All right, let's continue.
So working on a puppy's head isn't always that easy. As you see, sometimes she just wants to pull her head down, and again, still correcting her all the time, but she's doing a really good job. I mean, I've seen puppies where, oh boy, they just won't let me do anything. They'll tilt their head to the side. But she didn't do any crying or, she did pretty good. I was actually pretty surprised at how good she did.
I'm trying to see, I'm holding her ears up like this, trying to see if my circle is equal. And again, she's just struggling right now with me. No. I need to make it equal. Okay, we're almost done. We're pretty much done, okay?
So I'm just going to finish her up here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will like and subscribe because I have more videos for you. Don't forget also to comment and click that notification bell. Thanks for watching.